everyone. Thanks for being flexible. So today we're going to look at equations of circles and how to find the area of a circle, how to find the circumference of a circle. So we're going to focus on these two basic formulas that you've already seen, but we're going to expand them a little bit of circle vocabulary. The distance around a circle is called the circumference of a circle. That's like the perimeter in other shapes, but in a circle we call it circumference. The diameter is from one edge of the circle to the other, and it goes through the middle of the circle. And then the radius of the circle goes from the center to the edge, and the radius is always half of the diameter. New to us, we'll be looking at an arc, which is just a part of the circumference, and also looking at a sector, which is the part of the area of a circle. So let's get started with a couple examples. The first says, find the area of a circle with a radius of 10. So to find the area of the circle, I'm going to use pi r squared and just plug in a 10 for the r. And then I can simplify that as pi times 100 or 100 pi. That is the exact answer. I can certainly leave it in that form. Or I could multiply it out using the pi button on my calculator and give my answer to 2 decimal places. In the second problem here, it asked me to find the circumference of a circle. So I know I'm going to use my formula pi times d, or 2 pi r. So it would be 7 times pi. That would be my exact answer. And then for my decimal, I'm going to plug that into my calculator and get an answer of 21.99. I can also do a little bit of work in working backwards. If they give me the area of a circle and want me to find the diameter, I can set the area equal to my area formula and solve from there. I can divide both sides by pi and then take a square root of both sides to figure out what r is. Once I know what r is, to find the diameter, the relationship between the radius and the diameter, if the radius is 11, the diameter would have to be double that. So in this case, the diameter would be 22. I don't need a decimal line there. Same thing with the circumference. If I know the circumference is 20 pi, and I know my formula for circumference is 2 pi r, or pi times d, I could use that one as well. I'm going to take a minute and set them equal to each other. And then I'm going to divide both sides by pi. And I'm going to get 20 equal to 2r. Dividing both sides by 2 gives me a radius of 10. And the question is, what is the area of the circle? Well, my area is given by the formula pi r squared. So I'm going to take pi times 10 squared. 10 squared I know is 100. So my exact answer would be 100 pi, or whatever my answer was above, it's the same, 314.16. Okay, so that's a little bit of review in terms of what my formulas are, and then just kind of working with the formulas a little bit to solve in equations. The second piece of this is what's new. Okay, so I'm going to look first at a circle that has a diameter of 10 inches. If the diameter is 10 inches, I know the radius is 5. I want to find the area of half of the circle. So I'm going to find the area of the entire circle, or 25 pi, and I'm simply going to take that and cut that in half. Now 25 pi over 2 cannot be simplified. 25 and 2, it's an improper fraction, but there's no common factors or anything, so I could just leave that as 25 pi over 2. If I wanted to turn that in a decimal, I could take 25 times pi divided by 2 into my calculator and get a decimal to 3 places. Or sorry, 2 places is what we're going with. Okay, so I found the area of the entire circle, and then I wanted half the circle, so I just divided it by 2. If I want the arc length for half the circle, I would take the circumference which is pi times diameter, and I know the diameter is 10. So the whole circle has a circumference of 10 pi. I only want half of it. I'm going to divide it by 2. My exact answer would be 5 pi, or when I type that into my calculator, I would get 15.71, and those units were inches. Okay, so I'm just taking a fraction of the circle. In the first case, I was dividing it by 2. For the second one, I'm interested in a part of the circle that's only 30 degrees. So I need to figure out what fraction of the circle that 30 degrees is. So I know there's 360 degrees in a circle. I'm going to divide by 30 because that's what that angle is. And I know that there are 12 of those 30-degree angles in the circle. So I'm going to find the area of the whole circle. And then I'm going to take 1/12 of that. And the 12th came from taking 360 divided by 30 because it told me there was a central angle of 30 degrees. So let's get to it. It says the diameter is 8 feet. So that means the radius is 4. So I'm going to go ahead and do pi times r squared. Sorry, let me fix that. Pi times 4 squared, which is 16 pi. That's the entire circle. Now I need to divide by 12. So I'm going to do 16 pi over 12 because I want 1/12 of the circle. I'm going to reduce 16 over 12. I'm going to simplify that. That's 4/3 pi. And then I can type that into my calculator and get my answer there as well. I can do the same thing, but now I want arc length. I'm still looking at 1/12 of my circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the circumference of that circle, which is pi times the diameter. The diameter was 8 feet. That's the circumference of the whole circle. I only want 1/12 of that. So I'm going to take 8 pi over 12, and then I'm going to reduce the 8/12, and that's going to be my exact answer. And then I can divide that in my calculator, 2 times the pi button divided by 3, and that's going to give me an answer of 2.09 feet. I'll do one more, and then I'll give you your class kit code to work on. So this one says a circle has a radius of 5 meters. We want a sector that measures 72 degrees. So first I need to figure out what fraction of the circle that is. That is 1/5 of the circle because 72 goes into 365 times. So I want 1/5 of the area. So the area of the circle is pi r squared, and r here happens to be a 5. So my entire circle has an area of 25 pi, which means 1/5 of that, when I go through and take 1/5 of 25 pi, is just going to be 5 pi. When I type that into my calculator, I'm going to get 15.71 meters squared. I want to find the arc length of that sector. Arc length relates to circumference. And then that means I'm going to look at pi times diameter, or 2 pi r. I'm going to take 2 times pi times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 pi is the circumference of the entire circle. I only want 1/5 of it. So I'm going to take 10 pi divided by 5. That's going to give me an exact answer of 2 pi, or 6.28. Check the email. There'll be a link for the Classkick. I do want you to log in and try it. I'll monitor it from this end. It won't be live where you can hear my voice, but I will be able to write, and I will be on Classkick until 3 o'clock. All right, thank you. And again, I apologize.